All right, guys, thank you for hanging tight. Sometimes technology just is not our friend. My name is Melissa, and I am a clinical staff pharmacist at a local hospital. I'm in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I am so grateful and I appreciate all your time. I know everybody's time is really valuable. And tonight we'll be talking about a one simple change that many of us on here have made in our lives, and it can be a catalyst to your family's optimal health. So you've been invited by someone who respects you and loves you, and we hope you enjoy listening. And perhaps you'll even think of someone else in your life who needs to hear this message. So tonight we're going to talk about the Tower Garden by Juice Plus. And this is only my second year having a Tower Garden, second summer. And you can see it's behind me here. This is my pak choi. I guess it's like a modified bok choy. And it's been my favorite thing to grow this year. It's amazing and it's so much fun. So tonight we'll give you a little information on the tower, and I hope you learn something and have something that you can take along with you. So present day problems, if you've been to the grocery store, you know we're having some issues in our food supply. I was even at the farmer's market today, and it was 2 packs of apples for $9.99, and I was like, oh my goodness. So our food supply prices can be affected by so many things. So high temperatures, low temperatures, drought, floods, and currently, something we may touch on later, I'm not sure, is the war between Ukraine and Russia is, I did a quick Google search, and I mean, that's really what's happening with a lot of we can't get products from there, and produce, and not produce, like wheats and grains, and trucking companies that supply food. Sometimes your food comes 1,500 miles before it gets to you. And just like everybody else, they have a scarcity of employees. And, like those green bananas, they were picked way too early. I don't know why I'm talking about bananas. They're not on your tower anyway. Let's move on. So this is an innovative gardening system. You can grow vertically and save space. So you can see the woman on the left is probably breaking her back, getting attacked by bugs, and she has that raised bed taking up a good portion of her garden. And that's actually a pretty small soil garden. But on the right, you'll see 2 Tower Garden Flex, and they take up not very much room. As you can see, I have mine in my kitchen. So that's the only space it's taking up. The most space it takes up is those lights that are sticking out. So let's check out how this works. This is so cool, and I hope you guys enjoy this quick video.
Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your Tower Garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
All right, so that was really, really cool. All right, so what else about our Tower Garden? So not only is it innovative, we're saving space, you're the only one touching your produce right in your backyard. The Tower Garden is an earth-friendly choice for 4 reasons. So it leaves a smaller carbon footprint. So think about it. I'm going from my tower to my table. If you're going to the store, you're going from the farm to a truck to a market to your table. You just zoomed up the price of your produce. It uses only 10% of the land and the water of traditional farming. And that's not to say farms use these products. This is the first time I've ever thought this, but this is not to say that you shouldn't do farming. This is just an innovative way to save space, save water. And the Tower Garden recycles 100% of its nutrients and water. So we just watched in that video, it cycles back and forth. And the water lasts a long time. And the way the Tower Garden is created, it reduces the need for pesticides and herbicides. You only need about 2.5 cubic feet, 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, or if you're indoors like mine is right now, you need these lights. And it takes about 20 gallons of water in this bottom reservoir. And the energy, very, very minimal addition to your electric bill. So the Tower Garden really is the future of growing. I was watching a video today from Tim Blank and where he came up with this creation of the Tower Garden, which was created in Epcot and started as a dream for him when he went on a family vacation as a teenager. And he saw them doing things with aeroponics and he was like, boom, this is what I'm going to do with my life. And after a really prestigious internship, he started to develop this. And I think it's so neat. And as a pharmacist, research is important to me because obviously you need to research drugs and all kind of things. And the Tower Garden has research on it. And I think what I heard last week was these were graduate students at the University of Mississippi. And they were like, we're going to get a soil garden and you grow it in your fancy garden and we'll see who wins. Well, the research shows that the Tower Garden won and has 30% more yield and grew 3 times faster than that traditional soil garden. So we've already talked about less water, less space. It is safe and nutritious. It is a food grade plastic that resists sun damage. It is safe for you to use. And they actually tested the produce and it has a high antioxidant quantity in it, which we didn't really talk about antioxidants tonight, but antioxidants are good for us because they're reversing oxidation in our body, which is really harmful. And we get oxidation as soon as we step out the door. So we have a Tower Garden Home, which is a smaller version that you can keep inside all the time. It has a smaller basin at the bottom and you can grow lots of microgreens, lots of greens. On the bottom, the Tower Garden Flex is what I have. It can go indoors and outdoors. And there's so many neat things you can do. You can do like a whole tomato garden. You can do a tomato and basil. You can do a smoothie garden, a juice garden, anything you'd put in your juice or herbs. So I'm going to pass it over to Bridget so she can give you a little more of the in-depth meat of all things Tower Garden.
Okay. Hey, sorry about that. My button wasn't cooperating. Okay. So yes, I'm a big lover of these Tower Gardens. They're pretty cool. I just got my second one. So I just got that set up. So it's one of those things, once you have one, then all of a sudden you want more. So we'll be growing on a second one this year. And Melissa mentioned some of these things, but tower gardens, they're made to last. My first tower garden is 5 years old. I just got a second one, which is brand new, but we have friends that have had their tower garden since they came out. So they're like 10 years old and they're out in the sun. Friends I'm thinking of are in Florida. So they're growing on theirs year round outside. These things hold up. They're safe. There's nothing harmful, even none of the components. There's a pump that goes inside. There's a tube that's down in there. Everything is safe. And food grade compliant, obviously. I've had people go, well, I could just build one of those out of PVC. But the challenge with that is, then all of those chemicals and things are leaching into the water, and you don't want that to get into your plants. So this is the tower on the left is the Flex that Melissa talked about. The tower on the right's the Home. They're slightly different, but they basically both grow fabulously. The one on the right was designed more for indoor, because they decided to give it a sleeker look. With the basin is a little smaller, it's on wheels, so you can move it around. You could have it in your living room. It doesn't stand out terribly. It looks neat once it fills up with the plants. And it also, you hear a nice water sound because, as the video showed, the water drips down from the top. So when you order a tower garden, everything that you need to get started comes with it. So that's it. It shows up at your door and you could start that day because you have all the things that you need. And it's all in that photo. There's rock wool, which is the medium that you put your seeds in. It comes with a starter pack of seeds, but you can use any seeds that you like. So yeah, it's a ton of fun. And the day you get it, you can start growing on it. I set my second one up. That little funny tip, I was dyeing my hair, and while I was waiting the 20 minutes with the hair dye on, I was like, I'm going to go set up my new tower garden really quickly. So that's how quick it is. And now I've set mine up for off and on for a couple of years, but I can get it done in about 10 or 15 minutes. Somebody for the first time, it might take you half an hour, 45 minutes. All right.
Bridget, could we have Ellen share her story? I forgot to have her share her story.
Yes.
This might be a good time since it's her first tower and she set it up and got growing right away.
Perfect. Okay.
So
Turn
sorry.
it over to Ellen, because she has a really cool story.
Well, I'm impatient, so I didn't wait for my stuff to arrive. I ordered the rockwool and my seeds off of Amazon, and at the local seedery store, garden center and stuff. I got seeds and started my rockwool so that in the week when it came, I already had babies and could put it in. So I'm impatient. But yeah, so I've been doing hydroponic delivery. We have a really awesome hydroponic garden center in one of our side towns, and they deliver. So for about 4 years now, I've been having the hydroponic lettuces, tomatoes, peppers, arugula. I'm a huge arugula fan. My one friend always makes fun of me. You're eating more arugula. And I'm like, I love it. It's great. But yeah, I've been doing hydroponic for 4 years now. And I was, I've been watching Jennifer and Melissa, and I'm just like, why am I spending the money when I can do it myself? But I'm lazy sometimes. And I know most people don't think it, but I'm really lazy, although I do everything under the sun. But yeah, so I started, and we're at Sunday will be week 7. So George and I both take a big salad to work in the last week and a half, 2 to 3 times a week we cut off of it. And we're only going on week 7, so it's 6 weeks. And we've eaten about six salads off of it. And I've given one of my neighbors a salad off of it. So I'm excited because my hydroponic place doesn't have the eggplant, zucchini. So I have that growing in here too. So I'm like really excited because those are all staples. I want to put cauliflower in there because that's my other staple, but I don't like only one head. I can't give up the pod for that. So I'll just wait. I'll buy that. But yeah, I'm super excited. I come down every day and I'm like, what did you do today? How big is it? So I have my peppers, tomatoes, basil, arugula, lettuce, kale, eggplant, zucchini in there. So George really wants a watermelon. I'll have to think about that. But so yeah, we were very excited. Between, you know, the cost, I was spending about $50 a week to every other week for my hydroponic delivery. And so we're saving tons of money because I was doing 50 weekly to bi-weekly, and this is costing me about, with all the little added, because I have the Flex. I always got those messed up. I have the Flex, but I added the lights, and I also have the cage to put around it in a couple weeks. So that added a little extra. So it's about 85, I think I'm spending a month, which is a lot cheaper. And then by December, it'll be paid off, and then it'll be really cheap. And I have all my own greens. So I'm very excited, very excited. So yeah, that's my story.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's how I think it looks like you might have. Do you have is your base white or green?
It's the green. I have the.
Okay. Oh yeah, you do have, that's the Flex. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is how much it's grown. These are my babies that I overplanted. My Rockwell, they're the exact same age.
Oh, wow.
And so they're 6 weeks also, but they're little yet because they're not having the constant water and nutrients. So
right.
That just amazes me.
Well, right. And that's why they say it does grow 3 times faster than your
Yeah.
traditional dirt garden, which, you know, for anybody that's growing, I mean, that's total bonus, because once you plant, it's like, come on, come on, come on. And the tower garden is really all the best things of growing. You get to watch the seeds, and then, but it doesn't have all the work. So you get to plant, you get to watch the babies sprout and grow, and then you get to harvest, but you don't have to dig and weed and sweat and remember to water and all those things. The tower garden does all of those things for you.
Yeah, it's the easiest garden I've ever had. I honestly, I
Yeah.
don't do anything.
Which is why I think then people end up buying more, because I'm on my second one. So like, this is so darn easy. I want to grow more.
It's addicting because it's in my head that I'm like, who am I feeding with? It's just George and I, but I'm like, oh, it's so much fun.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. It's a ton of fun. Okay, let's see. So yeah, that's awesome. I just started mine. So my bok choy like doubled in size in like 3 days. I don't know what's going on with my bok choy, but it's awesome. Okay. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I didn't even know you could buy hydroponic vegetables other places. I guess that's not it's popular.
Yeah, it was an interesting, when my kid was in high school, one of the classes they had at the school, this kid put together this whole project on hydroponic gardening, and he had it down to the dollar, to the penny, what it would be to start the business, what all everything needed, blah, blah, blah. And one of the other presenters brought his uncle, who's a businessman and owns a couple businesses. And he was very impressed with his work, and he backed him and started the company. And now they have delivery trucks, and they're going crazy. And now they have 4-H farms. And so now they have goat milk and cheeses and bees, and so they're really expanding.
That's cool.
So it's very neat.
Who knew? That's awesome. Well, yeah, so it is definitely a cost-effective way to grow your own food. I just read today that the cost of lettuce right now has gone up 12% over like last year, just for lettuce, 12%. I mean, I'm feeling that at the grocery store, shopping for a family of 5. I'm definitely feeling that, you know, that little oomph. When I check out, I'm like, holy cow, did I buy that much? So let's see. Back to the two. So yeah, Ellen has the Flex, and then there's the Home, and they pretty much do the same thing. One comes with lights, one you can add lights if you want. And you know, you get different ports to grow things. So you get a minimum of 20 spots to grow 20 plants. So you're growing in that 2.5 foot square area, 20 plants. Uh-oh, I just lost my screen here. Bear with me 1 second. And then, oh, there we go. And then you, with the home, you get an additional little section to grow more. And you can even purchase, as Ellen talked about, additional things to grow even taller and get like 8 and 12 more slots. But we have a family of 5. I have, the last couple of years been growing 20 things in my tower, and it's a lot of stuff. We use it all. And the wonderful thing is, as you buy some lettuce at the store, pre-washed, pre-bagged lettuce, and I throw a lot of it away because it goes bad before we use it. Well, with a tower garden, you only pick what you are going to eat that week or that night. So the rest of the stuff that you're not eating is staying alive, being watered on the tower garden. So it's not dying on you. So you have a lot less waste also. All right, go ahead, Jen. There we go. So what can you grow? Huge list right here. Everything from fruits and veggies, herbs, flowers, edible flowers, ornamental flowers. You just cannot grow root vegetables because there's no dirt. And you cannot grow anything that grows like on a tree or a bush. So like blueberries, you can't, because that's like a bush. Lemons, that's a tree. But this list, I don't even think this list is an exhaustive list. There's even more. I always like to plant marigold in mine because it brings bees around. It helps deter pests. And the marigolds grow beautifully on the tower gardens, and then they last way into the fall, and they look really pretty too. So I always use one spot for a marigold. So there's so many possibilities. There's people that have numerous towers, and like Melissa said, you can grow all lettuce, you could grow all herbs, whatever your family eats is what I tell people to grow, and then grow 1 or 2 kind of fun experimental things. So that's what we do. And like, we've learned that we love Swiss chard, which who knew, right? But I used the spot for Swiss chard one year. One year we grew lemon balm. So we like to try out new things, but mostly I save it for what my family will eat because I want to eat what we grow. And the fun part is with families, I have 3 girls. I mean, they think it's so exciting to eat the food off the tower garden that they eat more of the fresh produce than if I just pull it out of the fridge because I bought it at the store. When I tell them to go out and pick lettuce for a salad tonight or go pick out some tomatoes, I mean, they're so excited about it. And then they eat it too, which isn't that what everybody wants, right? The goal is to eat more fruits and vegetables. So go ahead, Jen. And anywhere, they can go anywhere you have an outlet to plug it into. And then you need access to water because you do need to fill the basin. But, I know people that grow indoors and just fill up a bucket and pour the water in. Mine is on my deck right outside my door. We just pull the hose up from around the side of the house and fill it up. So really anywhere that works, it just needs 6 to 8 hours of sunlight and the ability to be plugged in because that pump and that timer need to be have electricity. But you can see they have tower gardens, like they're great for people that live in apartments and they just have a balcony. I know people that have an RV and take their tower with them, and then they set up their RV. They might stay for a month and they have their tower right there with them. And then there's a lot of larger facilities that have adopted tower farms. And you can see the San Francisco Giants. There's another baseball stadium. The Chicago O'Hare Airport, they have in one of their terminals a tower farm, and they use it to supply all the restaurants in that part of the airport. And then, rooftops in Manhattan are starting to use the space. And then there's Kona Greens in Hawaii. So it can really, the options are endless. And this leads me to even schools. They love tower gardens because what an awesome growing tool. It teaches so many things. And I'm going to turn it over to Jen, but our elementary school, I just talked to them and they just got 2 tower gardens for their school that just arrived last week. And they're so excited to start growing. And I know Jen, who is going to talk a little bit more, but she can tell you all about towers in the classroom.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. Thank you very much for joining us. So on the right-hand side, that is one of my students this past year holding 1 head of lettuce. That's literally came out of 1 port in the tower garden. We use the tower garden to support our plant curriculum. So if you know any teachers or you are a teacher on here, pass on the word, and whoever invited you can get you more information for your teachers and or their school. But then we harvested that salad right there, gave everyone, I have 25 children, that plant right there fed 25 kids a plate of lettuce. We make our salads very simple. We just did the lettuce with a little bit of dressing, and then we made a kale salad, and I had 8 cups of kale, and that didn't even exhaust the one. Oh, I had 2 plants. So that didn't even exhaust 2 plants. And that was after we had ripped it all up. I had 8 cups and we made a kale salad. And yes, even the pickiest eaters went home and told their mom, we grew this lettuce. I can't remember the one little boy. I can't remember. I think it's called kale. And we ate a salad and it was so good. So now she's emailing me for the recipe. So again, if you know any teachers that might be interested, please find out more information for them, because it's awesome. And the cost doesn't fall on the teacher. It goes to the school, possibly through grants, or even the PTO or PTA helps to fund the Tower Garden.
Nice.
So our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world, one patio at a time. So the Garden Tower provides healthier food options, easier garden options, and it just makes sense. It would be a disservice if I didn't tell you about the other Juice Plus products that we offer. So in the center, you see these are fruit, veggie, and berry capsules packed with micronutrients from 30 different fruits and vegetables to help bridge the gap between what you do eat and what you should eat. On the top left, we have a shake mix, and you can use your kale and your chard in your smoothies. I like to make a fruit shake in the morning for my breakfast, keeps me full all the way to lunch. And then on the bottom, we have a plant-based omega, which skips the fish and goes right to the plant. These are the different fruits, vegetables, and berries that you would find in the fruit, veggie, and berry blend. Notice that there's a variety of colors. Oftentimes when we're eating fruits and vegetables, we're eating the same fruits and vegetables all the time. This gives you 30 different fruits and vegetables. We also have, this is our brand new Juice Plus Perform Shake. This has 25 grams of protein. It has B vitamins, great for your energy. It has, what I love best is the recovery. I either take this shake to the gym or I have it after, and it just helps you recover very quickly. You know, I don't have any pain the next day. I don't feel, tired after my workout for the rest of the day. It's vegan, gluten-free, non-dairy, and non-GMO, and only 6 grams of sugar. And this can be for anyone, any exerciser, one that exercises once or twice a day, or those that are exercising 5 to 7 times a day. I mean, sorry, not a day, my gosh, a week. Even athletes love the Perform. So when you become part of our healthy community, whether through some of the Juice Plus products or the Tower Garden, you can become part of this healthy community. You will have access to several different websites, many different cookbooks for shakes, snacks, dinners, even mocktails. Plus, you get the distributor and the team that you could tap into for any information. We have different programs, as you see, like for kids, for the Shred 10. So we thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you very much for being patient while we were having some technical difficulties. So what we want is just for you to take any little tidbit with you. Maybe you're going to eat more fruits and vegetables. Maybe you're really interested in towering in this new innovative way. Maybe you would like to try some of the other products. Whatever it is, thank you very much for joining us. I am going to stop the recording. Please stick around to ask questions. Oh, Melissa, you're going to stop the recording.